Welcome to Audio Tales AI. In today's episode, we bring you a story of false accusations and the astonishing turn of events that led to redemption. You won't believe the twist at the end of this one. If you enjoy these stories, remember to subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on the extraordinary world of audio storytelling.
I was forced to pay child support. Yeah, I should do my part, pay for child support, blah, blah, blah. Well, let me ask you guys this. Would you pay child support if you found out the baby wasn't yours? Hey guys, I'm 32 and male. And I'm married to my wife, Emily. And we have a daughter named Lucy. And I thought we really have a good thing going between us. However, over the last 6 months, we've done nothing but argue. And now Emily wants to get a divorce. I'm devastated and mad as heck, because she's trying to take everything from me that I have. Not only are we going through the bitter divorce, but in the divorce settlement, she wants me to pay child support. I already pay for everything anyways, so I don't see the point in that one. My lawyer told me it's normal for this to happen though. Sometimes the ex-wife just gets selfish, bitter, greedy, and hey, she wants the car I paid for in the house, even though she just inherited a house from her late father over the summertime. She simply wants everything. Like I'm not a human being to her anymore. For now, she's staying at her dad's house. Well, her house for now. However, she's come over the top off Lucy, so I can have my mandatory time with her. She even tried to make it where I could only get our daughter every other weekend instead of every weekend like originally. But I couldn't let that happen. I fought tooth and nail to get my allotted time with my daughter. Then all of a sudden, there's a knock at the door. I go and answer knowing it's going to be her. I pose myself for an argument and open the door, and she just gives me this sour look and tells me to not let Lucy stay up late. Hands me Lucy's backpack and then walks away without even saying goodbye. Lucy turns and yells, "Bye, mommy." However, Emily just keeps walking to her car and not saying a word back to this sweet little baby. I just knew she had issues she needs to deal with, and she needs to deal with them fast. I bring Lucy inside and turn on some cartoons for her while I make her a snack. I usually work on the weekend, so having Lucy every weekend is causing me to have to miss work. It's been a year since the divorce settlement went through, and I've been paying child support and missing work every single weekend. I finally lost my job. I walked into work on Monday, and my boss told me to pack up my stuff and go. I wasn't necessarily shocked by it, but man, did it sting a little bit. I've worked for this company for 15 years, and now, well, it's all gone. So, I've been trying to recover from that, and I'm starting to worry because, well, I have bills, you know. And I don't want to lose my house or my car, and I have to be able to make my child support payments or else. So, I've been searching the papers and online for jobs in my career zone. The only problem is, there really isn't much available right now, nothing that I can find at least. I can't get a fast food job flipping burgers. I won't be able to afford my bills, especially not the child support payments because it's so much. I have not told my wife that I lost my job yet, and I don't even want to have that conversation. It's going to be bad. I just know it. It was always hard to talk to her about things that might upset her. And I've always had to lie about things instead of just being open with her. Because she simply can't handle the bad news. I hated lying, but I never wanted to just sit there and argue over every little thing. But I'm going to have to do something because she's going to know I can't make the payments. Maybe I can just not say anything and try to just get a job before she says anything to me. Oh, but I doubt I'll get that lucky, but you never know how it could go down. But just maybe, if there's a will, there's a way. But let's fast forward it now to present time. It's been 4 months, and I still haven't found a job that would let me afford all my bills. And I've missed quite a bit of my child support payments. I never told my ex-wife, but she obviously knew something was up since she wasn't getting the money. She called me screaming, "Where's my money?" I just told her that I didn't have it and would not have it anytime soon. And of course, just like that, I suspected she went out of her way to make sure I suffered for not paying. I can just imagine that the first thing she did was call the authorities as soon as she hung up the phone with me. And reported me for not paying the child support very swiftly. Because before I knew it, it was 5 a.m. and the police were there knocking on my door. I answer and they say, "Andy, is that you?" "Yeah?" I said, waiting for them to tell me that I was under arrest for lack of child support payments. And of course, that's exactly what they said. So now I'm in handcuffs and on my way down to the police station. It's the weekend, so I won't see the judge until the next Monday. They strip searched me and took all my clothes, shoes, and wallet. And now I'm in an orange jumpsuit surrounded by other real criminals I can recall. I don't belong here. Just because I could not find a job and make my payments, I just needed a little more time to get back on track. But of course, my ex-wife did not see it that way, and I knew she wouldn't. She never had a heart or cared about others enough to do things to make them suffer. If it were up to her, she would get every single dime I make and more. I'm furious, and I just can't believe this is what it came to. Me in jail, and my ex-wife is free, and my daughter probably not even paying attention to her. She should be in here, not me. That's what I get for wanting to spend time with my daughter, I guess. This morning, I saw the judge, and he sentenced me to 5 to 8 months in local correctional facility. I've been getting letters from my parents quite a bit. Today, a letter came from a mutual friend of Emily and mine. His name's Brandon. I haven't heard anything from him since the last barbecue we had 2 years ago on St. Patrick's Day. All I can remember is that he was acting strangely, like he needed to tell me something, but he just couldn't. And then, I did not see him again after that. I open the letter and start reading it, and it says word for word. Dear Andy, I know it's been a while since we've talked. But when I heard about your situation with Emily and your divorce, and you got locked up for not being able to pay child support, I just knew I could not keep quiet any longer. Man, I hate to tell you this, bro, but Emily was cheating on you with the man that she's with now. They've been together since before Lucy was born. And I honestly think you should do a paternity test because Lucy may very well not be yours. And you can possibly fix the situation if that's true. I'm really sorry for not speaking up sooner. I didn't think that it was my place to break up a marriage. Anyways, I hope you get things figured out. I'll talk to you soon. Brandon. I immediately smashed the letter in my hands, crumbling it up. Damn it. I knew it. That's all I can think of right now, and all those times she came home with new jewelry or a new purse. And how she was always late coming home from the store or the doctor's office. And not to mention taking her phone with her everywhere she went, and of course it had a lock on it. Did my phone have a lock on it? Nope, never would. Had no reason to because I actually loved my wife. And now I know she was just using me for money and possibly to trap me to pay child support for a child that might not even be mine. Wow. I served my time and did not have any problems during my whole stay except for the first day. I even made a few friends who were also in there for not being able to keep up with their child support payments. You see, I'm definitely depressed but more determined than ever. I'm going to keep my head down and just be a model prisoner. And that's exactly what I've been doing, just eating, sleeping, working out, and reading my Bible. My parents came to visit me every chance they could, but I hated having them in that place. They tried to be in good spirits for my sake. Now that I'm home, I'm just trying to figure it out, a way to start over. I need to be able to find work or I'll just end up right back in there. I've decided I'll just have to find a job outside of my career field. That was nerve-wracking because I've always done the same thing for so long. I don't know how to do anything else. I've been getting letters from my mom and dad a lot, and they've come to see me a couple of times as well. If it wasn't for them helping me out with the house payment, I would have lost my home by now. I almost lost my car too, but I was able to pawn some of my favorite things I own just to pay for it. Emily's tried to stop by at least 3 times since I got home, but I don't want to see her. She even tries to make me feel guilty by telling me that Lucy wants to see me. But I'm not her dad, and I never should have been put in that situation in the first place. And I can't bear to see Lucy if I just don't know what to say to her. She's probably so confused and I feel so bad for her. But I know I have to take Emily to court to get what I deserve from all this. She never should have tricked me into thinking that Lucy was mine. She had every opportunity to tell me the truth, yet she just lied to me every single day. She let me fall in love with that little girl, and then she decides to rip me to pieces. Well, now I have nothing and no one, but being alone is better than being lied to every day. I started searching online for a better lawyer because I just knew I was going to need the best lawyer in town to get this taken care of ASAP. I didn't care how much it would cost me or if I could even pay for it. My new job is alright, I'm working for a marketing agency, it's not so bad. But it doesn't pay near as much as I'm used to. But hey, it pays the bills and that's all that really matters right now. So, I would find another job to pay for the lawyer if I had to. At this point, I worked 3 jobs to make sure Emily gets what's coming to her. I searched for a lawyer all night and finally picking one that seemed like the right option. So, I gave him a call and he said all the right things when I explained my situation. And he set up a court date and a paternity test for me to take ASAP. So, They had the results instead of waiting till the court date appeared. I show up at the place where I'm supposed to take my test and Emily's there with Lucy at the exact same time. Lucy sees me and takes off running in my direction. I was not sure what to think. I love this little girl absolutely to death. I helped raise her for her whole life pretty much. We have such a great bond and I don't know what I'm going to do if she's not mine. Please Lord, let her be mine, I prayed in my head. Then I picked Lucy up and gave her a hug and a kiss on the cheek and I told her I missed her and I loved her and that she needs to go back with mommy now. She protested but Emily walked and yanked Lucy out of my arms and just walked away. Lucy starts crying and yelling daddy and I had to walk away and my heart breaking into pieces as I did it. I took my test and they said that I would get the results within a couple of weeks. Update number 1. So now it's time to wait somewhat patiently. I've not gotten much sleep the past week and a half. You can see it in the face, the dark circles under my eyes have become a permanent fixture upon my face. I don't look like me and I don't feel like me. I'm just ready to know so I know what to do next. That's when the mailman pulled up and stuck today's mail in the mailbox and I walked outside to the end of the driveway. And I retrieved the bills and other miscellaneous envelopes from the mailbox and started walking back inside. That's when I saw it, the results. Right here in my hands, all I have to do is open it and I'll know if Lucy's biologically mine or not. I took a deep breath, half ran inside not wanting the neighbors to see me hit the ground if the results turned out to be negative. I slammed the door behind me and ran over to the couch and sat down. And I ripped open that envelope, accidentally ripping the paper inside a bit. I had to put the pieces together to read it and it said, 0.00%. I was crushed and I threw the paper and all the other mail across the room and cried my eyes out. I'm so upset I don't know what to do yet. It can't get any worse. This is my daughter. Well, this is not my daughter. How will this affect her? Emily certainly won't let me be in her life anymore. After this, I already know it. Why would she? I'm not her father. That man she's with, if I could only get my hands on him, it would make my day for about 5 seconds, but I know it's not worth it. I called my lawyer and told him the news and he told me he would take note of it and bring it up in court. I tell him I wanted to sue her for emotional stress, fraud, and all the child support payments that I've paid for since you know I'm not the father. He agreed and said that he would prepare for the big day and we hung up. It would take another 3 weeks before I would have my day in court to hopefully show everybody who Emily really was. The next thing I know, I'm getting a call from my lawyer the next morning. He wants to inform me that the man that my ex-wife had been cheating on with for 6 years out of our 7-year marriage was Lucy's biological father. I told my lawyer, thank you for telling me the news, and we hung up. I dialed Emily's number, but I got her voicemail and I'll be honest with you guys, I was just absolutely livid at this point, almost to the point of absolutely snapping. Well, I was going to let her have a piece of my mind, but then I remembered the court date and I didn't want to ruin my chances of winning. So I hurried up and hung up and texted her that I did not mean to call her and to ignore that I did. I didn't want her to know that I knew that her affair partner was the father of my daughter. I mean, their daughter. She was supposed to be mine. How can one person rip apart 2 people's lives she supposedly loved? It didn't make any sense to me. I could never imagine cheating on her, let alone for 6 years and fathering a child from another woman and pretending that it was normal to let my wife be the mom. I know that's not how that works, but if the roles were switched, I would be put through the ringer. And now I'm not leaving that courthouse without a single penny I'm suing her for. Update number 2. Before I knew it, it was the day of the trial and I was more than nervous. It took everything I had to not throw up in the taxi's back seat. I doubt he would really appreciate it if I did. I just concentrated on seeing the look on Emily's face when she discovers that we know her little paternity secret. And how she's been getting child support from him and me. I don't even know how that's even possible, but hey, she found a way. I get to the courthouse and my lawyer meets me outside the door of our courtroom. He quickly briefed me on what he was going to say and how to act while in the process. He told me to stay calm and just let him handle it. I told him that I understand and that I wanted her to pay for everything that she's done. We went in and I sat in my seats and the trial began. Emily claimed that she did not know who the father was and that she was unhappy in our marriage. But she truly thought I was Lucy's father and she didn't want to leave me. So she stayed with both of us. Well, my lawyer argued that had she gotten a paternity test in the very beginning, it would have kept me from paying unwarranted child support payments. And would have prevented me from spending time in the correctional facility. He also told the judge to my surprise that her affair partner, I guess his name is Cole. And he was very wealthy of a businessman and then it all made sense. She was using us both for our money big time. She admitted to taking child support payments from Cole and I both. And she used all the money so she didn't have anything to be able to pay me back. The judge told her that she had committed fraud and that was a felony. And well, she's going to face some prison time. I almost fell out of my chair. I couldn't believe it. She would have to serve prison time? Are you joking? Karma, the taste of sweet karma. I felt relieved, but I felt terrible for Lucy. She would have to be without her mom, but then again, I thought maybe it wasn't such a bad thing as long as her biological father was good to her. Or at least better to her than Emily was. If he was, then I felt pretty good about the situation, to be honest with you. But not being in Lucy's life was very hard for me. I saw them once at the corner store that's close to my home. It's almost like she went there on purpose just to run into me somehow. So she could torment me with the only person she knew I cared about the most. But could not be with her because she wasn't mine. She lived on the opposite side of town, so it had to be that. And why else would she come so far just to grab some chocolate milk in a candy bar? It didn't matter. I would move on and I would be okay with time, and so would Lucy. She'd get used to her real dad and she would love him the way she loved me. All of a sudden, the judge was given a piece of paper by my lawyer. And the judge cleared his throat and he said these exact words. Let's come to my attention that you, miss, have a house that you inherited from your late father. Emily looked shocked and obviously not wanting to. She shook her head yes and then looked at my direction. I hurried up and looked straight ahead and I got it. The look on her face of pure shock and horror. Now she'll feel the pain I felt these past few months. The pain of losing my daughter, wife. Learning of her affair, losing my job, and the pain of going to jail. I guess you could say it's now her turn. The judge told Emily that she would have to serve a minimum 3 years in prison. And that she would be releasing the title to the house for me. For the payment for the child support. I wasn't expecting that, but either way it was another win for me on the books. Cha-ching. I sat back in my chair and sighed with relief. I looked at her squirm. She's got a rude awakening coming her way. She's not built for prison, let alone jail. Wow, they'll chew her up and spit her out. I felt an ache of guilt in my heart because the wounds were still fresh. But I just ignored it. I would not feel sorry for her, not anymore. I just can't anymore. Update number 3. This is the final update that was posted by Op. Enjoy. Hey guys, I had some requests to go ahead and just give a little update. So here it is. It's been a year and a half since Emily first got sentenced. She's getting out today on good behavior. And I don't know if I should be worried or not. Boom. BOOM, boom. I heard a loud crash out front of my house. Well, Emily's old house. I jumped up and run to the window and see a car that's rear-ended my vehicle out front. So I run outside to see if the person's okay. And to my surprise, guess who it could be? It's Emily, and she's drunk. Lucy was in the back seat and she, well, had her head slumping forward. I hurried up and got her out of her car seat and placed her gently on the ground. And I checked her pulse to see if she was breathing. She is, and she has a pulse. I ripped my phone out of my pocket to call an ambulance. I can't even bother to check on Emily as she's staggering away from the car. Falling over by herself. All I could do was scream at her and tell her how stupid she is. She doesn't even look in my direction. The ambulance pulls up and takes Lucy away to the hospital. I made sure I jumped in the back with her so she wasn't alone though. As the ambulance speeds away, I look through the rectangular window. And see the police handcuffing Emily. I know Lucy isn't my daughter anymore, but I still love her like she's mine. Emily is worthless. I don't understand why she would do such a thing. Lucy's stable and coming around. Emily called my phone from jail and told me she was bringing Lucy to see me. Because I was her real dad, no matter what some stupid DNA test tries to say. Well, I told her that I was going to see to it that she lost full custody of Lucy. And I didn't give one rat's butt who takes her as long as it's not you. Emily just cried and told me she would not let me win. And I told her that she already lost. Then I hung up the phone just like that. I testified against Emily at her trial. I told the judge, looking right at the judge's eyes, how she was a mother and how she treated Lucy all the time. Now she's being sentenced to a whopping 10 years. 10 years in a full security maximum prison. I feel like she should have been in there longer the first time. And I almost wanted Lucy to come home with me, but I knew it would not happen. Instead, she went with Child Protective Services. I'm just happy she's still alive. Emily hit my car going at least 54 miles per hour. They both could have died. Yet I'm not too surprised by her actions. I knew she would show up at some point. I just wish it would have been different. I could have made them both happy. But she just had to go and ruin it.
Thank you for joining us on this immersive journey with Audio Tales AI. If you enjoyed this captivating narrative, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on the power of audio storytelling. Stay connected with us for more tales that will ignite your imagination and emotions.